Could it possibly be that Nintendo has finally conceded that they have lost this pricing war with us gamers? So recently, Nintendo got sued over tariff refunds, with two gamers saying that consumers should get their money back. So, two gamers have filed a class action lawsuit against Nintendo, alleging that the company was unjustly enriching itself with any refund it secures from the US government over widespread tariffs last year, that, among other things, hiked the prices of Nintendo hardware and accessories. Unless restrained by this court, Nintendo stands to recover the same tariff payments twice, once from consumers through higher prices and again from the federal government through tariff refunds, including interest paid by the government on these funds. So, the gamers who sued are California-based Gregory Hoffert and Washington-based Prashat Sharon, I think that's how you pronounce that. Both said that they purchased Nintendo goods that have increased in price due to tariffs, according to the complaint. They filed a lawsuit, This represents all people in the US who purchased price-hiked Nintendo goods between February 1st, 2025 and February 24th, 2026. They allege Nintendo's recovery of any tariff refunds would constitute unjust enrichment and violate Washington state consumer protection law. So they say, like, similar things have been done here, all that type of stuff. In the lawsuit, the gamer site comments from Nintendo executives connecting the tariff to price increases in May 2025, a month after the tariffs were imposed. Nintendo CEO Shuntaro Furukawa told investors, "Our basic policy is that for any country or region tariffs are imposed, we recognize them as a part of the cost and incorporate them into the price." Nintendo's March lawsuit, along with tariff recovery suits from hundreds of other companies, was immediately put on hold pending the implementation of a refund system. So, yeah, there's a lot to go over here. So they're pretty much saying that, we should get our money back from, because of, you get the tariff refunds and all that. So sure, I can understand that. But let's be honest. Like, a lot of companies have used the whole tariff thing really to prop themselves up. Like, let's be honest. Like, they wanted to, like, from the, that no company's gonna say no to the idea that, wait, we can charge more for something? Fuck yeah. And a lot of them went, we're just doing this for tariff prices, guys. And, when this all goes away, then we'll put prices back. The prices are still the same. They haven't done shit. So, I'm like, okay, right? That's what we're doing here. And, I fully believe Nintendo is fully done the thing where it's like, yeah, tariff prices, they are in Japan, all that type of stuff. I understand that. But if you think for one fucking second that they aren't happy over the fucking moon to increase prices, you're fucking dumb, right? This is a company at the end of the day, and all they care about is making money. You don't fucking matter. Your money does, you yourself don't. So Nintendo isn't exactly doing super well right now because the Switch 2 production was cut 33% following the weak holiday sales. So already there, I put this to the fact that, all the people who were gonna get a Switch 2, they got it, like, pretty much as soon as it came out. There was that mad rush for, like, the first couple months. Now we were in the holiday at that point. People are like, I don't need a Switch 2, Or the people who have a Switch 2, they got it. And then the other families who, like, maybe would have got a Switch 2, they see that price, and they go, maybe I'll just buy my kid his games for his other console, like, whatever. And, who can blame them? Who can blame them, dude? I don't blame them at all. I don't have a Switch 2 still. To this day. Still got a Switch 2. Switch 2 here is like $630 is how much a Switch 2 is. What am I gonna say? Do I want a Switch 2 or do I want to pay my heating bill, my water bill? Do I want to buy food? Like what do I think is more important? This is something I think Nintendo and a lot of companies have forgotten. You are not a mandatory thing. You're a luxury item. You are something that we buy when we have spare income because we want to treat ourselves. We want to just have some fun. Like, I got a spare bit of income. Like, I can buy that new video game that's like, $60. I'll get like, like a month or two out of it. I'll have a good time, right? And, if I like it enough, I'll replay it, whatever. It's like, you are a luxury item. You're not a necessity. A necessity is clothes, food, heating, water, electricity, paying my rent to make sure I actually have a house to live under, like, that's what actually matters. You don't, in the grand scheme of things, people can very easily cut you, right? You see a lot of people saying, I don't really watch that streaming service anymore. I can save, like, $12 a month from that, So I think that's where a lot of gaming companies have forgotten is you are not a necessity, you're a luxury item. We don't actually need to buy you. you know? Someone should tell PlayStation that too with their fucking price hike. So then going off this, Nintendo has now apparently maybe conceded somewhat of a defeat, with Nintendo confirming that the Switch 2 will have a permanent price drops. So in an unexpected turn of events, Nintendo has revealed a permanent price drop pertaining to first-party games. Nintendo will soon begin charging less for its first-party games that are launched digitally, beginning with Yoshi and the Mysterious Book, which is due to be released on May 21st. So, beginning in May 2026, and starting with pre-orders for Yoshi and the Mysterious Book, new Nintendo published digital titles exclusive to Switch 2 will have an MSRP that is different from the physical version. So, digital copies will now drop down to $60. So, Yoshi and the Mysterious Book can now be pre-ordered physically for $70 or digitally for $60. That is about the price I would expect a Nintendo first-party title to be, right? Like, $70 is pretty much what the Switch was, and even then you're like, that's fucking dumb. But that's about the standard for a Nintendo item. You came to expect that a Nintendo video game was about, first party, was about $70, right? You kind of knew that. That's pretty much what it's always really been, especially here in Canada to me. It's pretty much what it's always been, right? And digitally should always be cheaper than physical. That was the whole thing about them going like, we're going to have more digital games. It's going to be cheaper for you guys because you just got to pay it and it'll go right to your console. That was the whole big, you know, thing about digital games. And then they ended up being more expensive than the fucking physical copy. And I'm like, what the fuck, man? But yeah, this is good. So they are having a permanent now price decrease, which is good. I'm all happy about that. That is something to rejoice in. They seem to have conceded somewhat a defeat there. I remember, right? So talking about Nintendo pricing, right? And I say like everything was like $70. I remember this is during the Wii U era, scrounging together the money to buy Smash Brothers. I remember this. I scrounged up all the money. I saved a bunch of like, you know, like birthday money and stuff like that. And, you know, you kind of do chores and your parents are like, all right, I'll give you like, you know, $5 in like a virtual bank or whatever. And, you know, I'll know in my head you got $5. So if you ask for something, I'll tally it up in the head and be like, oh, well, you know, whatever, right? So I remember scrounging up all this money and being like, oh my God, I have like $70. I can go to the store and with my parents and say, I want to buy that. Right, I remember doing that, you know, having to work to like get, you know, raise the money enough to go and buy a video game. You know, I went to the store with my parents. I knew I had it, and there it was, Smash Brothers. I'm like, I want to buy this, right? And then I remember this at the same time Mario Kart 8 was there, and I'm like, fuck, that's a big one. And they were both $70. So then my mother had the dilemma. Well, she didn't have a dilemma. I had the dilemma. My mother's like, well, you can pick one. You want Mario Kart 8? You want Smash Brothers? I'm like, no. Thankfully, my dad, fucking Giga Chad that he was, said, if you pay for one, I'll buy that one for you as a gift. Right? Because he's like, you've been really good recently. Like you're doing good in school and all that, so I'll buy this to like for you for that. But you pay for one and I'll pay for the other one. And I was like, oh my God, Dad, you're a fucking legend. And that's what I did. So I bought Smash Bros. And he got me Mario Kart. My mom was not fucking happy, and my dad's just like, whatever, because that's how my dad always is. My dad will always be like, you can get it, it's fine. My mom, it is like that typical thing, right? The mom is like, well, you know, I guess you gotta earn some money. My dad's like, it's fine, he got it. You know? So I remember that happening, and I was like, oh, that's awesome. So then I went home, and I just started playing Smash and Mario Kart for like fucking weeks. That was great. So yeah, that's always how it's been. But now you look at Nintendo pricing, right? And here's just an example. Here's Switch 2 prices right now, right? Mario Kart World, $110 fucking dollars for this game. Who the fuck in their right mind is gonna pay $110? And this isn't even like a special edition, right? Because, you know, I've been in that area where you pay like $100 for a video game, but it's a special edition, right? You're buying like the deluxe edition, you're pre-ordering it, so you get it a couple days early, you get all the DLC for free when it comes out, and around about all that DLC, that big bundle, totals about $100, and you're like, okay, I'm getting the game, but I'm pre-ordering all the DLC when it comes out. You know, it's actually a better deal if I do this than just pay for the DLC, you know, individually when it comes out. I pre-order it, I get it a couple days early, like that type of thing. Okay, that makes sense. This is none of that. This is just fucking base. You show up at my door. Why the fuck would I do this? Donkey Kong Bonanza, $95 fucking dollars. Why would I do this? What? Why the fuck would I do this? The Mario Galaxy 1 and 2 bundle. Should I remind you, re-releasing 2 games from the Wii era. $92.75. Huh? I'm sorry? I have both these games individually up in my room. Right? I bought them $20 a pop. I bought them cheaper buying the games individually for the Wii than this fucking bundle would be. This is another thing I hate about Nintendo, how they full price re-releases, right? Like Donkey Kong Country Returns, right? Or the Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze, or the Luigi's Mansion remaster they did, where they just full price fucking old games. I hate that shit. And they did it here again. They did it here again. Pokepia, $100. Why the fuck would I pay $100 for this? You see, like, shit like this doesn't work. But then, if you go to the Switch 1 games, right? $77. Still, to this day, it is still 77 something, right? Now, here's the thing. Here's the thing. This is about what the price kind of always was. I think it's actually gone up a bit because it was like $70. So this is kind of like what the price always was, but like I go through like Switch 1 games, they're still about this. They are still about $70, right? That should not be the case. This should have gone down in value, because how old is this fucking game, dude? Right? How old is this fucker? Like 2018 maybe? Right? Or something like that? Like, why is this still full fucking price? That's another thing Nintendo needs to fix. You gotta fucking discount your games. Bring back Nintendo Selects. But this is about what I expect for a modern Nintendo game to be at launch. About this. And then as the years and months go on, the price drops. You know, like how the Sonic games do that, right? And on the topic of prices, what games are people playing right now? That like recently that have come out, what games are people playing that have really taken off? You get something like Crimson Desert, right? And that game's about $80. That's one where I would make an argument because of how vast and big it is, right? It is a massive fucking game. So, in my humble opinion, it is a lot of money still. $80 is still a lot, so even then I'm like, ugh. But I can see paying $80 for a big game like that, because you're going to be playing that game for months. Maybe a year, right? Like, there's so much shit in that game. More than fucking this, for damn sure. So, in my opinion, like, $80 for Crimson Desert, it's a lot. But you're going to be playing that game for a long fucking time, so I suppose it is worth it. Then we look at something like Windrose, which just came out recently, right? How much? Windrose is doing massive. How much is it? It's $40. It's $40. Why the fuck would people not snag that up? That's a great fucking deal right there. $40 for this game? Awesome sauce. Then you look at something else. Slay the Spire 2. $33. How the fuck would you not buy that? Mouse PI for hire, which IGN proved once again all fucking credibility with that fucking company out the goddamn door with Mouse PI for hire. How much is Mouse PI? $39. About 40, right? Again, why would you not fucking buy that? So when you see prices like this, and then these games blow up, right? And then you look at like shit like this, and it's like, what the fuck? What is wrong? Why would I buy this? Why? But there we go. That is Nintendo. They seem to have conceded defeat somewhat with their pricing, which is good. You know, I'm all for, lowering prices, making stuff more affordable for gamers. That is always good, because that is me. I am not going to pay fucking $80 for a video game at launch. You know, I will wait a bit. The only time I will buy a video game like at launch if it's like something I'm like, no, I'm fucking there, right? Like if it's a Sonic game, I'm pretty much just gonna buy it because I'm a fan of Sonic, right? I spent how much on Crossworlds? I think 80. I actually think I did spend 80 on Crossworlds. But like I played Crossworlds for fucking months before I decided, hey, I'm good. Right? Like I unlocked every fucking vehicle, I've unlocked every track, I've done the time trials. I've unlocked every cup. I have played pretty much every free character that's out there. I've pretty much exhausted my Crossroads run. It lasted me a good time. It came out in October. So November, December, January, February, March. About 5 months worth out of it before I went like, yeah, I'm good. You know? That's about it. Like, that's a lot to me. About 5 months worth of gameplay that I got. And I was playing that shit like every day too. It's not like I took a break. I was playing it every day. So that to me was a worthwhile investment. You know, and we still got more stuff coming out with the game, right? It's not done. They still have shit to come out. They might do a year 2. So, like, that's good. That's a worthwhile investment to me. This motherfucker with no DLC, get the fuck out of here. Let me know what you guys think about all this in the comments down below, and I will see you guys all next time.